Sonic and the Black Knight. Truly, when I first played this game, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I would end up hating this game. However, that's not the case. Sure, people like to call games like Black Knight, Unleashed, and some others the dark age of Sonic games, but I loved it when it felt like Sega gave a damn and wanted to branch out and try new things. One of these things was Sonic holding a sword, and while it seems pretty simple, cut and dry, you would think otherwise when playing the game in actuality. So, let's talk about why Sonic and the Black Knight is amazing. Hey, I'm VMag and welcome back to another video on my channel. Typically, I like to make video reviews on games I love, and today will be no different as I take a deep dive on one of Sonic's best journeys in Sonic and the Black Knight. As previously stated, I thought I would hate this game, but that's far from the truth now. Anyway, I want to stop rambling and let's start with the development of this great game. Sonic and the Black Knight was first revealed at Nintendo's pre-Tokyo Game Show in 2008's press conference. Developer Sonic Team, a publisher of Sega, decided to focus on combat and cinematic presentation for the game rather than the level design oriented games like Sonic Unleashed. And another thing about the game was that it was part of this series called the Sonic Storybook series, which consisted of two games, which were Sonic and the Secret Rings and this game. Finally, after all the development had finished for Sonic and the Black Knight, it finally came out for the Nintendo Wii on March 3rd, 2009 in North America. Sadly, at first, like most Sonic games, there was a lot of mixed reviews from critics, and this is what led to all Sonic games with mixed reviews to get delisted from all retail stores in order to increase value of the brand, and get better positive reviews for games like Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Sonic Colors. Man, they really did hope, didn't they? Moving on, Sonic and the Black Knight has a pretty interesting story. A wizard named Merlina, granddaughter of Merlin, attempts to flee from a Black Knight and his forces. Cornered, she performs a spell calling forth the champion to save her, and she ends up summoning Sonic the Hedgehog of all people. And as they retreat, Merlina explains to Sonic that the Black Knight is actually King Arthur, who has been corrupted by the immortality granted by Excalibur's scabbard, and that Sonic must defeat him to restore peace to the kingdom. He takes up the talking sword Caliburn. At Caliburn's suggestion, Sonic meets up with the Lady of the Lake, Neum, this world's version of Amy Rose. Now, something to remember is that any characters you think you know aren't actually who you think they are. So, like Sir Lancelot, although appearing to be, is not Shadow. Anyway, this Lady of the Lake is someone who tests Sonic to prove he is a worthy knight. After completing her tasks, Neum tells him that he must collect the sacred swords wielded by Lancelot, Gawain, and Percival of the Round Table, this world's versions of Shadow, Knuckles, and Blaze respectively, in order to dispel the immortality granted by Excalibur's scabbard. Defeating one of the knights, Sonic claims all three swords and challenges the king once more, destroying him. Sonic takes the scabbard back to Merlina, who reveals that there was never any King Arthur, and what he defeated was an illusion created by her grandfather Merlin, with Merlina manipulating Sonic in order to claim Excalibur's scabbard as her own. Merlina's plans to use its power to make the kingdom changeless and eternal in hopes of averting the kingdom's fate from the legends. However, her plan is completely flawed, and as such, a world going against the natural order of things would not function properly, and it would come at the cost of innocent lives. She summons the underworld directly into the kingdom, creating the Dark Hollow and forcing Sonic and the knights to flee. Nemu explains that the sacred swords can be used to form a barrier to prevent the Dark Hollow's spread. So Sonic and the knights quickly split up and journey to the kingdom's corners to form a barrier, but it proves to be too weak and the hollow continues to grow. Sonic enters the Dark Hollow himself to confront Merlina, who has now become the Dark Queen, but she proves to be too powerful and destroying Caliburn and badly injuring Sonic. Seeing Sonic's continued resolve to stop the witch, Neum, and the knights give Sonic the power of the sacred swords to restore Caliburn, now to be revealed to be the true Excalibur. and Sonic transforms into an armored super form called Excalibur Sonic. He defeats Merlina, destroying the Dark Hollow, and after the battle, Sonic tells Merlina that while everything has an end, people should live their lives to the fullest until that day comes. With King Arthur revealed as an illusion, the Knights of the Round Table prepare to disband, but Celeborn reminds them that he is the one who chooses the true king, now revealed to be Sonic. In a post-credit scene, Sonic returns to his world and tells Amy about his adventures, but she believes it to be an excuse for missing their planned date. And the game ends in a similar manner to Sonic and the Secret Rings, with the title of the book King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table changing to Sonic and the Black Knight. You know, I was afraid that they were going to actually make Son and Amy canon, but thank God that wasn't the case. Anywho, let's start talking about the gameplay, one of the most important parts of the video. Alright guys, so there are 13 total different areas that the player can visit during their own journey. These areas consist of Misty Lake, Camelot Castle, Deep Woods, Titanic Plain, Crystal Cave, Molten Mine, Faraway Avalon, Knight's Passage, Shrouded Forest, Great Megalith, the Cauldron, Dragon's Lair, and Dark Hollow. So yeah, there are a lot of areas to travel around, and throughout each of the stages, things may vary on what needs to be done. Gameplay for Sonic and the Black Knight differs from traditional games in the Sonic series by mixing in the new element of swordplay, along with the traditional platforming and speed of other games. Swordplay is implemented so that players can slice through enemies without slowing down, but when faced with more formidable enemies, players will engage in advanced swordplay, able to thrust, parry, and even perform a buzzsaw maneuver. However, the sword is not only used for combat, players may use Celeborn to actually slide down a wall. A lot of criticism of this game comes from the continuous swinging of the sometimes unresponsive Wii Remote. I actually didn't have to deal with this since I actually play with a PS4 remote on Dolphin, but still. The stage features townspeople that the player can choose to help or injure. These actions and the player's deeds will be judged at the end of each stage, updating the player's Knight's honor. Helping the townspeople will boost this bonus, while hurting them will make it drop. By helping out grateful citizens, players will be able to purchase new items from them, acquiring items such as gauntlets, magical tombs, and new swords. There are 247 items in the game, some of which can be gained by opening treasure chests in the missions. An online mode allows the treasures to be traded. Additionally, this player can collect townspeople by completing missions, which will increase the player's title, thereby unlocking additional skills, better items, and more support from the townspeople. The game changes the traditional level items such as springs and speed pads into fairies. These fairies come in varying colors. Yellow fairies are used to gain rings, blue fairies are used as spring and speed boosts, and red fairies are used to fill up the soul gauge. This gauge, much like the soul gauge in Sonic and the Secret Rings, is also filled by defeating enemies, and is used to unleash a powerful attack called Soul Surge. The mission-based system from Sonic and the Secret Rings also returns, but the missions are much easier to complete. Each stage consists of multiple missions which feature different stipulations. The skill system from the previous game also returns, but was reviewed to adjust any problems that were present in the game. The skill system is also designed as to not interfere with the game's tempo. There are also legacy missions in the game where you must simply head to the gold ring and the items of the earlier 3D Sonic games appear. They are springs, dash panels, gold rings, and Eggman's flying robots. Some items of Sonic and the Secret Rings would also appear, like the Platinum Ring of the 7 World Rings as a collectible item. Throughout Sonic and the Black Knight, there are 4 playable characters: Sonic, Sir Lancelot, Sir Gawain, and Sir Percival. Sonic is the fastest character in the game, and possesses all the standard skills in the game. However, contrary to other characters, Sonic's aerial attack consists of him spinning with his sword as he dashes into enemies, similar to the homing attack. However, this time giving a greater attack range and attack rate. He also does not slow down from his sword slashing while running. Sonic's Soul Surge is modeled after his speed and homing attack. When using it, Sonic targets a foe and strikes it with an accurate swift slash. At the beginning of the game, Sonic starts out with the only balance-oriented Knight style, but over the course of the game, he is able to use the power-oriented Paladin style and the speed-oriented Cavalier style. Sir Lancelot's gameplay in Sonic and the Black Knight is quite similar to Sonic's gameplay. Just like Sonic, he has a homing attack and can also use this attack in order to perform an aerial attack. Lancelot's version of the Soul Surge is Chaos Punishment, making him vanish and reappear in front of an enemy to slash him. When used with no enemy near, Lancelot will glow blue and fly through the stage. Sir Lancelot wields his final sword named. Lancelot can also use Chaos Spears by simply slashing his sword. Lancelot can also use Chaos Spears by simply slashing with his sword. Also, Lancelot will combine his Chaos Punishment attacks with the Chaos Blast when attacking an enemy. Just as Percival and Gawain, Sir Lancelot can only be used in the levels Knight's Passage, Shrouded Forest, Great Megalith, the Cauldron, and Dragon's Lair. Like Gawain and Percival, Lancelot is permanently set to his character style in Adventure Mode, which is the Knight's style. Moving onwards, Gawain's style is a fighting that is heavily grounded based. His two swords allow him to strike with strong ground combo attacks, but his aerial attacks are mostly dives. He can also glide like Knuckles to cross long distances. One of Gawain's drawbacks is his lack of a homing attack, meaning Gawain would have a heavy disadvantage in legacy missions. However, Gawain's aerial attack can be considered a pseudo homing attack, despite not being able to destroy enemies on legacy missions. His Soul Surge, Gale Meteor, has him throwing his swords like boomerangs at enemies. He can only use this move on the ground, but can strike both flying and ground foes easily. While this move doesn't allow him to gain distance while attacking like the other Soul Gauge moves, he can still run incredibly fast if used with no targets around. Like Lancelot and Percival, Gawain is permanently set to a character style in Adventure Mode, which is the Paladin style. Lastly, Sir Percival's gameplay in Sonic and the Black Knight is quite different from Sonic's gameplay. Unlike Sonic or Lancelot, she has two jumps, of which the first is used as a homing attack. Her aerial attack can be used to stay in the air for a longer time, as it sends her straight forward without losing height. The downside of this, however, is her aerial attack can't be used as effectively as Sonic or Lancelot's. Her ground-based attacks make her speed from enemy to enemy. In her variation of the Soul Surge, Flames of Killon, she covers herself with fire and is freely controllable. This is very useful when fighting against multiple enemies at the same time. Next up in the gameplay, there is a multiplayer mode for the game which surprisingly acts a little bit like Mario Party. There are various battle modes, and this is some fun extra things for yourself and some friends. The playable characters include Sonic, Sir Lancelot, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sir Gawain, Knuckles the Echidna, Sir Percival, Blaze the Cat, Blacksmith, Amy Rose, Sir Galahad, Sir Lamorak, and King Arthur. Lastly, for the final boss of this game, Sonic will transform into Excalibur Sonic to stop the Dark Queen. The Dark Queen, also called the Queen of the Underworld, is the final boss of Sonic and the Black Knight. It is a transformation of Merlina the Wizard achieved through the power of the scabbard of Excalibur. Merlina assumed this form when she had Excalibur's immortality granting magic of the world of Camelot, but she was stopped by Excalibur Sonic and Excalibur before she could destroy her world. Excalibur Sonic is only playable in the battle against the Dark Queen. While the player takes him as a playable character, his movements are slow in the air and cannot avoid attacks easily. Although, by using the Z or A button, the player can spin to the left or right quickly. Excalibur Sonic possesses a special type of Soul Surge that enables him to draw a significant amount of energy from each attack dealt by utilizing it. In addition, Soul Gauge is doubled in his case by continuing at attacking at the right time with his Soul Surge. The Soul Surge becomes green and allows him to activate more powerful attacks. Excalibur Sonic can attack huge projectiles greatly with increased swordsmanship capabilities than Sonic, but he is vulnerable to small energy orbs. Overall, Sonic and the Black Knight had a really appealing gameplay that for me personally was new and exciting, which is what I think I loved about it. This game did a phenomenal job with the implementation of the sword gameplay, and I'm happy with the way the game turned out. Something else that came out great was the voice acting cast for this game. Now, typically this is one of the shorter parts of these kinds of videos, but regardless, let's take a quick look at the voice acting for this game. Overall, while the cast is amazing, I think it was Sonic and Caliburn that did it best for me, since I love the way that they built off each other during the story. Sonic the Hedgehog is voiced by my favorite voice actor, Jason Griffith, which also I think this is his peak Sonic, and yes, that's passing his acting in Unleashed.
It has a mind of its own. It selects its bear.
Yeah, well, it's got a pretty smart mouth on it for a sword.
The impertinent one is you, knave.
Caliburn was voiced by Casey Robertson. Merlina was voiced by Melissa Hutchison. King Arthur was voiced by Gavin Hammond. Sir Lancelot was also voiced by Jason Griffith. Sir Gawain is voiced by Dan Green. Sir Percival was voiced by Bella Hudson. And the blacksmith and the Neum, or the Lady of the Lake, were voiced by Lisa Ortiz and Amy Pallant, or backwards I guess. Overall, the cast I think did an amazing job. The way the characters felt natural and built off of each other, it really did bring this story to life, which is something definitely people want to see. Something you can't undermine is the sheer talent put into the original soundtrack of this game. Veteran composer John S. returned to the composed music of this installment, mixing familiar Sonic themes with a Celtic style. In addition, his band Crush 40 returned to perform the main theme song of the game, Night of the Wind, along with several others. The song With Me is the final boss song composed by All Ends. This song can be known as the Excalibur Sonic and the Dark Queen's theme. The ending theme for Sonic and the Black Knight is Live Life, which is Merlina's theme performed by Crush 40. This song is slower than most of Crush 40's heavy rock songs, giving it a slower, more peaceful rock anthem feel. The characters' themes from Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure are featured in this game as well. Other themes are unlockable by equipping medallions of any Cigarette Knight, leading to songs such as Blaze's themes Villanova being heard during gameplay. The song Molten Mind bears a striking resemblance to the action theme from the PlayStation/Sega Saturn game Black Dawn. Both tracks were composed by Tommy Tallarico, and here's some cover art on screen to show both CD albums for Tales of the Knighthood and Face to Face. So near the end, are we? Let's wrap this up quickly then. Let me say that if you by now have not realized how amazing Sonic and the Black Knight is, you either have A, had this video in the background and not listened to a word I said, or B, you are just really dense. But regardless of what you think, you cannot deny going from presentation to overall gameplay to the voice acting or even just the music, this game is amazing. If you haven't tried it out, I cannot stress enough of how much I recommend this game. And if you didn't know what to think of Sonic and the Black Knight before, hopefully I helped you form an opinion. Hey, welcome to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as it's always appreciated. I want to now thank the current channel members who support the channel in another way than just overall support. If you are interested in becoming a channel member, depending on the price you choose, you can become a channel member and support me. With being a member, you get things like a badge next to your name, you showing up at the end of videos, and more. I also have a Twitter if you want to keep in touch with me, and check up on everything else I do. I also have a Twitch and a second channel if that interests you. All links to these will be in the description down below. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all you dudes in the next stream or video or whatever I do.